Invoxus going up against eSuba. And it does say Voices of Humanist and Ex-Scoundrel, but it's actually going to be myself and Tasty Bacon starting things off here. We're going to be casting this one to kick things off. Bacon, talk to me a little bit about what we're expecting to see with these two compositions. How do you anticipate this early game to go?
Well, like I said, I'm expecting to see a lot of aggression coming out of Great Invoxus because they have the ability to group early on with the Churnwalker, the Celeste, and the Kensai, or Kinetics, excuse me. Kensai's on the other side of the Rise, but you see right away, it's going to be that standard, Captain and Mage in the mid lane, where everyone else kind of doing their own things on the sides of the map. This is sort of what we saw in the preseason, what sort of became the meta as we moved along.
Yeah, we'll see how this meta continues to develop as well. I anticipate the meta to change across the course of this tournament. Over the next 5 weeks, I anticipate very different picks at the end. I mean, not to mention the fact that 3.6 is going to drop at some point, which will change things in itself, but I anticipate some changes to come on through across the course of the weeks.
The thing that's interesting to me right now is where exactly this Fortress is going to go with his build path. Because you've already got the Tony and the Kinetic both running weapon power. Obviously, the Celeste is going to be your crystal power. Is this Fortress going to go into the heavily into the Aftershock? Maybe a Broken Myth, maybe a Dragon's Eye, or is it going to end up being more of almost like a second captain for the team and building a lot of those defensive stats and the tankiness that we see Fortress typically go when he's playing as a captain? The fact that it's sort of in the lane is going to be very interesting to see how it pans out, because obviously you need to start with that Book of Eulogies to be able to survive in the lane that's not going to be building into weapon power, you have to assume.
Here we go. We could have our very first fight of the game right here. Jiraxis going to get a 3-man pull. He's doing some serious damage, but he's taking it on himself. Look at the health bars dropping incredibly low. First kill goes the way of Jiraxis.
And that's going to be that damage share, just chunking teams down, especially when you have the Heliogenesis. And Jiraxis in some trouble,
He's got his health pot, though. He's going to heal up a little bit. Sweet Honor grabbing yet another kill. Jiraxis goes down. This is going to be traded surely now. Warrenix is incredibly low, but just about survives. And it is going to be Marn to finish that one off.
That could have actually been huge if they had been able to get that kill, Sweet Honor, onto Warren. Would have been a 3-for-2 trade, but all 3 of those kills, unfortunately, because of the way this happened, none of them actually went onto Sweet Honor.
Booker manages to sneak in and grab the kill there onto the Sky in the end. Staying a little bit too long, being a bit greedy for that CS.
And like I mentioned, a little unfortunate. Oh, that's a deep dive.
Speaking of staying greedy right here, Marn going to go underneath the turret. Does drop into his resurrection. Will be just about fine, though. They can't follow up on that one.
Yeah, so that was a little bit of a gutsy call, but knowing that you have that infinite reboot available makes it a little bit safer, especially, Martin's going to be feeling confident. He's got the 2 kills for eSuba, so wants to try and snowball this one very quickly. And that's kind of what I expected. Both of these teams playing a bit aggressive early on, looking for those early kills. You see now here in the bottom lane.
What a play. Nice taunt to start that one off and just able to get half of his HP down. And that sets them up to, if they find a good situation, maybe go for a dive. Booker obviously just going to be able to get a huge amount of damage down if he wants to, just harass onto tower. But he's actually going to rotate up and see what he can find elsewhere on the map.
Right now, Refuse to Lose and Warren in the top lane. This one is
much damage.
An interesting matchup to watch, just because you feel like Sky should win that one, but because of the Book of Eulogies and because Fortress is able to move around the minions so effectively, it's actually not really taking much damage, and it is going to be going for the Stormguard banner for Refuse to Lose. So just trying to be able to clear out those minions effectively.
Jendak just about going to get away with his life, and Booker basically in the same situation there. Very close one between the 2 players, and we do have a tiny bit of an invade coming out from Kensei over in the bottom side. He's just going to be stealing away the healing camp, I think, waiting for someone to rotate, maybe look for a fight.
And top lane, kind of on an island, as top lane usually is. Not too much focus has been put up here by either side. Jungler pressure has been towards the mid and bottom side of the map, but now we're going to see an invade onto this healing tree. And
Here we go. Jiraxis has been a playmaker so far this game. Going to keep living up to that. Sweet Honor is going to be with him and refuse to lose. Rotates down. Warren is in a whole heap of trouble right here. He's going to get pinned down, but he's kiting away. Sweet Honor is going to be the target for our red side, but Jiraxis trying his best to just share this damage out among them. Gets his healing pot out and will be able to survive with his life. I think everyone just gets away with this one.
Yeah, it looks like nobody's going to end up falling. It looked like it was going to be trouble for Warren, but a great death from above to start that fight off actually kept Sweet Honor from being able to get involved until the rest of eSuba had rotated up. And now eSuba in prime position to take down this turret. So a great team-wide rotation from them. Now it looks like Jiraxis and refuse to lose. They don't want to give this turret up without a fight.
They certainly don't, but I don't think they have a choice, honestly. This is going to be going down here. Turret's still aggroing, I think, but they're going to be able to finish that one off. So, turret going the way of eSuba. But in terms of the gold lead itself, it's very much in favor of great Invoxus.
Yeah, and that could be about to increase as you see Prostoy and Buka pushing mid, saying, okay, you guys want to rotate 4 members top? We're going to send a couple mid and take a turret for ourselves and steal away your Treant. So at the end of the day, this whole scenario ends up advantage to Invoxus.
Yeah, important to point out as well, this bottom turret did go down during all of that as well. So it was actually a 2-1 trade of turrets in favor of great Invoxus. So fantastic map play from them. 2,500 gold lead in their favor. And now Jiraxis looking to make a play. Potentially Sweet Honor is going to be here just to grab away his Crystal Treant.
Now, it looks like eSuba wants that Treant. Sweet Honor actually does get the Treant, and gets the buff, so, not bad. Four-man invade, and you still end up with the buff. I think you got to be happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll see how this is going to come out because the whole team is here. The Wolves are out, and that's already going to be Man dropping. Self-destruct is nowhere near enough. The stun doesn't quite land onto Mattis, but the damage does. Goodbye, Samuel. He's out of there, and now we have a 5-2 scoreline. 2 players down, and potentially some objectives.
And with the 3K gold lead that Invoxus has built up, they're going to be able to start rotating around the map. Again, using this Fortress ultimate for the move speed, using the Churnwalker to pull everyone back in, and then the Tony as well to knock the enemy team back towards them. They have so many tools to not only engage a team fight, but keep a fight engaged even if eSuba tries to break off.
Warren's in trouble. Does manage to kite away, though. It's actually going to be Prostoy trying to get onto the back line, but can't quite finish the kill. Jiraxis is low, and D3 wants to capitalize. He punished very heavily, though. Shot goes through, but it's blocked by Gendex in the end. Half HP on basically everyone from eSuba. And we'll see whether the rest of Great Invoxus wants to fight this. I think not. They're just going to back away.
Yeah, it looks like they're just looking to regroup. That fight didn't go the way they were hoping. They were really wanted to pick up that turret and just kind of solidify this lead that they have by taking all 3 of those tier 1 turrets. But in the end, they have to back away. Prostoy just going a little bit too deep while trying to hunt down that kill.
Absolutely. One of the most important things as well, when we talk about those outer turrets, actually I don't have time to talk about that because Jiraxis is once again trying to loop those chains onto his opponents. Good bit of damage comes down, pulls him in again, but Mon is here. This is a 2v5 right now as Sweet Honor just desperately trying to survive against the onslaught that Alpha offers. Sweet Honor is going to go down. D3 happy to dive that turret, but I think he's going to get away with it as well. Mon is going to be the target, but he's gonna be dropped into that infinite reboot. Can they finish him in time? The answer is no. He's got knocked out of the way. Will be finished off in the end. So 1-for-1 so far. We are gonna see Kensei manage to get away with it.
And great use at the start of that of the Crucible by Gendak to make sure that they didn't get stunned by the Churnwalker. That's one of the keys to these team fights. It's going to be, can you prevent the Churnwalker from getting a huge multi-man stun off? Thus far, Jendek's actually been very good at timing those blocks to prevent his team from getting locked up.
Yeah, and that's one of the difficult things as a captain when you're against a Churnwalker. You have to get that Crucible early, and you have to be on point with using it. Here we go. Warren is going to get taunted up here. Half his HP is gone, but Invoxus are going to be happy with the turret. They don't want to push for the extra fight there, just want to take that objective. Now, Man is going to be the one caught. Doesn't have his reboot available. Will go down on a stun onto Gendax as well. He's going to have to port his way over, but the enemy can follow you, my friend, and he's going to be dropping 2 more kills in the way of Invoxus.
And Invoxus just starting to take control of this game. They've been spreading themselves around the map, so they haven't really been able to make a lot of progress in any one individual lane, but they are making progress in all 3 lanes, periodically throughout the game. Now they're going to go for this Ghost Wing. Obviously, getting the Ghost Wing buff is going to help you push lanes very effectively. It's a little late for the first Ghost Wing in the sense that, in the preseason, the top teams, we saw them taking this first Ghost Wing at 8 minutes, 9 minutes into the game, but they are going to find not only the Ghost Wing, but also a Samuel for their efforts.
Mattis just got destroyed. He went down in a matter of seconds right there. The Ghost Wing is taken. Right now, Great Invoxus just have a vice-like grip on this map.
And look at Buka picking up not just the 2 offensive items, but then getting the Slumbering Husk as well, saying, you know what? A lot of your threat right now is going to be the burst. Kensai has a lot of burst. Obviously, the Alpha is going for a burst-heavy build as well. I'm going to make sure that burst does not affect me. That's really going to be the only defensive item that Buka should have to buy on this Kinetic to be able to stay alive in these fights.
Here we go. Refuse to Lose has just been defending this turret, and now the rest of his team has arrived. Warren, there's nowhere for you to go. He's going to be dropping immediately. Tony grabbing the kill on that one, so Prostoy happy to get a little bit of extra gold in his pocket. But Black Claw is on the map. You can't afford to lose a player in that scenario.
They are going to likely give up the Black Claw pressure, but eSuba did at least make the best of a bad situation by getting that mid turret. I would have actually liked to see them keep pushing that lane, because your enemy team is almost certainly going to go for the Black Claw or have to rotate down to stop you from making that push. Instead, they go all the way down to the bottom. They should at least get this bottom turret, but now they have to worry about, are they going to be able to get that turret and get back in time? The answer is going to be no. They have to start recalling now in order to defend their base.
They didn't have the minion wave in the right spot, and they didn't realize at the time, so they rotated down in hopes of getting another turret, but forced a recall because Black Claw is pushing, and this could well be the final fight of the game if eSuba don't manage to pull this one back right now. Good death from above, landing onto a few members, gets the stun. Healing going to be coming out from Lyra all the meantime, but Black Claw's still half HP right now, and Jiraxis starting to get aggressive. Stun onto 2 players, and the rest of his team going to be coming on in. First kill is not going to quite land just yet. Warren gets away with his life, and actually damage coming out onto Prostoy. This could be a turnaround coming on through. Infinite Reboot is there. It's going to be 4v4 now. 1 player dropped on either side, but Black Claw still pushing relentlessly.
Yeah, Black Claw takes down that middle armory. That's going to make the main crystal a little bit more susceptible to damage, but they do at least survive on the side of eSuba, and that's what's really important. Just making sure you can keep the game alive and try and build a way back into this one. Warren somehow staying alive in that fight, despite getting stunned up by the Churnwalker, and was able to escape. And he's done that a couple of times this game, where it's like, oh, Warren, he's in a lot of trouble. Oh, he somehow gets out of it. So really great play from Warren on this Sky. Unfortunately, the rest of the team hasn't been able to capitalize on the maneuverability that Warren's been able to showcase.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is, it's 2 parts, right? Obviously, Warren is playing very well, but Sky, weapon power especially, is a very mobile carry, so you can slip out of those situations and sometimes get away with it. Look at this, though. Great Invoxus.
Party brush.
Playing the Death Brush game, just waiting for someone to face check that. It's not going to happen. They're just going to have to settle for a Ghost Wing. But it has to be said as well, the fact that eSuba go even in that fight is a big deal. That means they're starting to scale up. You've got things like a Samuel on the squad, starting to get some items into his inventory. If he can get that cleave going onto multiple members, he's going to start destroying them.
Well, that's going to be some boots used to get into the mid lane. Looks like Invoxus, along with Jiraxis, just want to try and end this game. They're going right into the base. They saw 2 members on the map.
It's going to be Alpha going straight on in. Infinite Reboot is there. Does get the Stealth Destruct onto 1, but he's down immediately. Stuns going on out as well. That's going to be Warren dropping. Mattis cannot do this on his own. This is going to be Great Invoxus taking game number 1 right here. Triple kill coming through for our Tony right there. And that is going to be the game in the end. Great Invoxus 1-0 up against eSuba.
And at the start of the game, there was a lot of really good rotations from both teams. It looked like it was going to be very even, but after those first couple skirmishes, all of a sudden Invoxus started to find a couple of advantages. They got all 3 of those turrets down. They got a few kills here and there, and then they just took over this game.